Welcome to SoulScripture. You didn't arrive here by accident. Chosen one. You were led, pulled by a frequency only your spirit could hear. And now, here you are, on the edge of something sacred. What's unfolding in your life isn't random. It's divine. There's a sacred shift happening within you. And today we begin to uncover it. You may have felt it already, a stirring beneath the surface. A restlessness that doesn't come from anxiety, but from awakening. Your body, mind, and soul are entering alignment, God's alignment. And when the Most High aligns you, every part of you begins to transform. Not just your thinking, not just your habits, but your biology, your posture, your presence, even your glow. God is initiating a process in you that the world can't explain. That's why so many people look at you now and sense something's changed, even if they can't put their finger on it. They see your light, but they don't understand its source. You're not just improving, you're transforming, and not by worldly standards, but by a divine decree. This isn't about chasing youth through cosmetics or diets. No, this is sacred. It's what happens when heaven breathes on your cells, when the Holy Spirit whispers to your DNA and reminds it of its original design. You weren't meant to age with despair. You weren't created to decay in hopelessness. You were born with eternal substance, and now the veil is lifting. There's a reason your energy feels different. It's not just that you're healing, it's that heaven has chosen to move through your very being. That heaviness you carried for years, it's being replaced with divine lightness. That exhaustion, it's being overwritten by divine strength. That aching feeling that you were slowly fading into invisibility, it's giving way to a new presence, one that commands honor. Without saying a word, you are being reintroduced to the world by the hand of God Himself. Not as who you were, but as who you truly are. And here's the truth, few are ready to accept. God sometimes restores the body when He's about to unleash the spirit. You see, when your external starts to reflect your internal elevation, people can no longer deny what God is doing in your life. Your youth isn't being restored for vanity, it's being renewed for visibility. Because now it's time for people to see. There are some transformations that must be felt, but there are others like yours that must be seen. Why? Because your life will become a living signpost of what divine favor looks like. Your smile will carry the softness of divine peace. Your eyes will shine with the fire of purpose. Your body will radiate the strength of someone who has stood in the presence of the Almighty and survived. The world teaches that youth is lost with age, but heaven reveals something different, that youth is restored with alignment and chosen one. You're aligning, not because you followed a trend, not because you chased a quick fix, but because you surrendered to the process, because you trusted the refiner's fire, even when it burned away the familiar. This moment in your life is sacred. Don't mistake it for coincidence. You've been through things that aged your soul, drained your beauty, and tried to convince you were past your prime. But God says otherwise. God says your best season hasn't been lost. It's been preserved, held in divine timing, and now released. There's a glow coming to your life that will confuse those who once ignored you. There's a power rising in your walk that will silence those who doubted you. And there's a beauty deep, eternal, spiritual beauty being resurrected inside of you. Not for attention, but for assignment. You are being prepared to be seen, not for self-glorification, but for revelation. God is about to reveal through you what it looks like when heaven touches earth. When a soul fully submitted to divine purpose begins to embody divine renewal, and yes, that renewal will be obvious, even in your skin, even in your voice, even in your stillness. So don't be surprised when people say, "You look different." That's not just skincare. That's sacred care. That's what happens when God places his fingerprint back on what he originally formed. You are the vessel. He is the artist. And this new version of you, it's not just healed, it's holy. Chosen one. Your youth isn't coming back. It's being reborn. There is a light in you now. Chosen one. That no darkness can deny. And it's not just any light. It's the light. The glow that terrifies darkness. Expose illusion. And silences the mockers who once questioned your worth. You're glowing not because you've escaped struggle, but because you endured and carried God's presence through the fire. You may not realize how radiant you've become. Because when you're the one undergoing divine transformation, it can feel subtle, quiet, internal. But to those on the outside, the change is loud, arresting, undeniable. And what they sense in you, it's not just confidence, it's not just beauty, it's spiritual authority. Your very presence has become prophetic. This is why you've noticed the stares, the double takes, the whispers. Not everyone can handle the glow. Some are drawn to it, others resist it, but no one can ignore it. Because what's shining through you now comes from a place deeper than appearance. It is the manifestation of divine purpose in human form. You see, when God breathes on a person, their energy becomes disruptive to the status quo. You now carry the scent of something otherworldly, and the spirit realm recognizes it. So do the people around you, whether they understand it or not, they feel it. It's why you're treated differently. Sometimes with awe, other times with envy, but always with intensity. And this is what many don't tell you. Divine radiance comes with spiritual warfare. Because when the enemy sees the glow of God on you, he knows he's lost access. That glow is proof you've passed through something: depression, abandonment, loss, betrayal, and came out drenched in favor. You're not glowing because life has been easy. You're glowing because grace carried you where strength couldn't. This glow is a threat to darkness. Why? Because it testifies. Your skin testifies to survival. Your smile testifies to resurrection. Your peace testifies to deliverance. And the enemy can't silence testimony. It echoes louder than accusation. Chosen one. You carry what I call asterisk, heaven's contrast. Asterisk. In a world where people are aging prematurely under the weight of anxiety, you're glowing with youth that doesn't match your years. You're gaining clarity while others are drowning in confusion. And that difference isn't random. It's strategic. God is using your transformation to draw others. You are now a lighthouse to those still trapped in storms. You don't need to preach. You don't need to explain. Just by being, you awaken people's dormant spirit. Just by walking into a room, you shift the energy. That's why some avoid you and others cling to you. The glow you carry is magnetic to destiny, but repellent to manipulation. People who once tried to control you will sense they no longer can, because the light exposes lies. And you, dear one, are now an exposer by nature. You walk in truth, and therefore you disrupt every room built on illusion. This is your anointing, and it is not light-hearted. It is heavy. It comes with responsibility, because the glow is not the reward, it's The assignment. You are being sent as a reminder that heaven is real, that beauty can be reborn, that strength can look like softness, and that holiness can shine through flesh. And yes, they'll ask you what your secret is. They'll assume you changed your diet or found a new skin serum. But you'll smile, knowing the truth runs far deeper. You didn't find a product, you found your identity. You discovered who you were always meant to be. And in doing so, you let God in. And He didn't just fill your spirit, He filled your body with light. Because when God chooses to dwell in you, even your bones respond. Even your skin takes notice. The world can't comprehend this kind of glow, because it isn't manufactured, it's mirrored. Asterisk. You reflect what you're aligned with. And because you've aligned with glory, you now reflect it, not for applause, but for assignment. Chosen one. Remember this, your glow is not vanity. It is a visible vibration of victory. And as you continue walking in obedience, the glow will grow. It will outshine the doubts. It will blind the critics. And it will attract the next generation of warriors who need to know it's possible to rise from ashes and still radiate divine beauty. You are not just radiant. You are resurrected. That's the light they see. And that's the light they can't deny. Chosen one. What if I told you that what's happening inside your body isn't just biology, it's prophecy? The glow, the clarity, the newfound vitality pulsing through your veins, it's not simply the result of healing, rest, or good habits. It's a supernatural recalibration, a divine rewriting of your very design. You're not just becoming healthier, you're becoming holy. When God chooses someone, He doesn't just touch their heart. He touches their cellular structure, their memory, their blood, their bones. He begins a sacred renovation from the inside out. The spirit comes first, but the body eventually catches up. That's what's happening to you. You are being rewritten by the breath of the Almighty. Yes, the world talks about DNA activation, like it's a mystical trend. But the truth is, heaven's been doing that since Genesis. When the Spirit of God hovered over the waters, He spoke light into chaos. Now, He's speaking that same light into your being. What was once dormant in you is waking up, not just your gifts or your voice, but even the energy in your cells. Your aging process is being interrupted by divine intervention. This is not wishful thinking. This is spiritual reality. There's a reason you feel lighter, stronger, more alert, more alive. It's because you're no longer running on the world's timing. You've aligned with heaven's calendar. And on that calendar, your best years don't decline, they ascend. The Bible speaks of Moshe, even in old age. His eyes were undimmed, and his vigor was undiminished. That wasn't a genetic fluke. That was favor. That was divine covenant. And guess what? That same covenant is working in you. You see, when you surrender to divine purpose, your body stops living like it's dying. It starts moving like it's becoming. Asterisk. You're not deteriorating. You're being refined. The fatigue that once plagued you is lifting. The heaviness in your joints, your skin, your breath, it's loosening its grip. Because God is breathing a second wind into your existence. And yes, there will be skeptics. People who say, that's just placebo. That's just the power of positive thinking. But what they don't understand is this. Faith is not placebo. It's blueprint. It's the original pattern your soul remembers. The one etched into your bones before the world taught you to decay. Chosen one. Your DNA is responding to God's voice. This transformation isn't superficial. It's sacred. Even scientists now admit that trauma alters gene expression. What they haven't realized yet is that healing does lorg, vind, thus. 2. And you, beloved, are being healed at the root. Not just emotionally, not just spiritually, but molecularly. The trauma in your bloodline is being reversed. The damage in your nervous system is being untangled. The stress signals are being silenced. And the peace of God is rewriting the code. Don't be surprised when your sleep becomes deeper. Your skin becomes softer. Your posture becomes taller. These aren't just random improvements. These are prophetic signs. They are the physical echoes of an invisible awakening. And let's not forget this truth. God uses the body as a canvas to reveal His glory. When Jesus was resurrected, His body carried the marks of crucifixion, but it no longer carried the decay of death. Asterisk, that's what's happening in you. You carry the memories of battle, but the decay, it's being erased. You are stepping into resurrection power. This is why you felt different lately. Why food tastes richer. Why colors look brighter. Why music stirs something deeper in your soul. Because your senses are being retuned to heaven's frequency. Your nervous system is no longer on high alert. It's resting in divine safety. Your body isn't fighting for survival anymore. It's expanding for assignment. And let me say this clearly. You are not too old. You are not too late. Your divine timeline has nothing to do with human clocks. When God restores, He does so in fullness. So expect the unexpected, the return of flexibility in your limbs, the slowing of wrinkles, the spark in your voice. You aren't chasing youth, you're reclaiming original design. Chosen one. This is sacred science. Not the kind written in textbooks, but the kind etched into the book of life. You are the experiment, the evidence, and the testimony. God is rewriting you because you have a mission ahead that demands strength, clarity, and radiance. And so, He is preparing your vessel cell by cell, thought by thought, breath by breath. You are not breaking down. You are breaking through. Chosen one. Have you looked in the mirror lately and felt unfamiliar, as if the person staring back at you is both you and someone entirely new? That's not your imagination. That's the spiritual truth making itself visible. When God transforms a person, He doesn't just change their spirit, He shifts their reflection. You are being reintroduced to yourself and the world. It doesn't quite know what to do with you now. There's a strange phenomenon happening in your life, and maybe you've started to notice it. People treat you differently. Some are drawn in by your energy. Others keep their distance, confused or even unsettled by your presence. They can't explain why, but something in you challenges their perception of who you used to be. It's because they're still trying to place the old version of you in a new spiritual frequency, and it doesn't fit. You are no longer the person they once knew, and that unsettles them. God has elevated your essence, and when that happens, even your face tells a different story. Your countenance shifts. Your energy sharpens. Your eyes carry a knowing that didn't used to be there. That's not ego, it's evidence. It's evidence of a spirit that's passed through fire and returned refined. People may say, "You look so good lately," or "There's something different about you." And they're right, but what they're seeing goes far deeper than skincare or lifestyle changes. They're witnessing the external results of an internal realignment, a divine reintroduction. And it's not just appearance, it's your aura. You walk differently, speak more slowly, smile with more softness. Your presence no longer pleads to be accepted. It declares, silently, I am aligned. And that unspoken declaration makes others pause. They may wonder what happened to the version of you that used to dim your light for their comfort. The one that apologized for dreaming big, or for looking too much like purpose. That version of you has been buried. Chosen one, not in shame, but in honor, because the new you had to emerge. The real you. And this emergence, this sacred unveiling, is necessary, because now God is using your very being as a mirror. People who encounter you are forced to see themselves more clearly, whether they want to or not. Your transformation challenges the limitations they've placed on themselves. Your beauty, your radiance, your light, it awakens what they've tried to bury. That's why your presence can feel polarizing. To those still asleep, you're a disturbance. But to the awakening, you are confirmation. That's the divine paradox of your glow. It comforts some and convicts others. But that's what light does, it reveals. Not only what's good, but also what needs healing. And you, dear one, are now walking revelation. God is using you as a living prophecy. Your reflection is no longer just physical, it's spiritual evidence. It says, yes, transformation is real. Yes, resurrection happens. Yes, heaven still touches earth. When people look at you now, they don't just see a person, they feel a portal. You are proof that God does more than heal, He renews. This is why some people are pulling away. It's not personal, it's spiritual. They aren't rejecting you. They're reacting to what your transformation awakens in them. They don't have the language for it. So they retreat. Let them. Don't chase old circles that can't hold new dimensions. Because your new reflection is a weapon, a reminder, a ministry. Every time you smile with peace, you defy the enemy's plot to destroy you. Every time you walk in grace, you shatter the narrative that your past disqualified you. Every time someone sees your glow and can't explain it, heaven gets the glory. This transformation isn't cosmetic, it's cosmic. And yes, it may feel lonely at times. You may grieve the people who no longer recognize you. But don't forget, when God changes your reflection, He also changes your audience. He will surround you with those who see you, not the old you, not the version you performed to survive, but the real, radiant, reborn you. So the next time you look in the mirror and feel unfamiliar, whisper this truth: I am becoming who I was always meant to be. Because that's what this is. Not Reinvention, but revelation. You're not covering up flaws. You're uncovering glory. Chosen one. Your reflection is sacred. It tells a story that words never could. And now, the world will have to witness what God has revealed in you. Chosen one. What many won't tell you is, this carrying divine beauty comes at a cost. Yes, you're glowing. Yes, you're being restored. But that light didn't come cheaply. It was forged in silence, sharpened through rejection, and purified in pain. The glow you carry now, it is not from privilege. It is the evidence of war. Behind every compliment you now receive lies a battle no one saw. Behind every soft glow is a scar that's been healed. You didn't just wake up radiant. You were refined in darkness. You were broken before you were beautiful. You were emptied before you were filled. And while the world may now admire what they see on the outside, only heaven knows what it took for you to rise to this place. They see the fruit, but they don't know the fire. Don't be fooled. Chosen one. The beauty you now radiate provokes more than just admiration. It stirs resistance, because every time light rises, shadows are exposed. And your glow, your divine youthfulness and peace is confronting systems, people, and spirits that preferred you broken and silent. The same ones who cheered for you when you played small are now uncomfortable with your fullness. They don't know how to approach this version of you, this aligned, radiant, unapologetically divine version of you. They knew how to handle your insecurity. They fed off your self-doubt. But your transformation, it disrupts their dynamic. You've shifted the balance, and that shift, chosen one, is spiritual warfare. You might feel the pressure now, the strange tension in the room when you enter, the passive resistance, the whispers, the sudden distance from people who used to love you. That's because the light in you speaks louder than their comfort zones. It reveals what they tried to hide. It's not that they hate you. It's that they no longer recognize themselves when standing next to you. That's the price of elevation. When you rise, you don't always get to bring everyone with you. You are stepping into rare air. You are being prepared for high places. And with that comes spiritual altitude sickness, moments of loneliness, misunderstanding, and spiritual attack. But do not fear. That glow on your face, it is your shield. That light in your eyes, it blinds the enemy. The divine restoration happening in your body is also happening in your spirit. You're not just being made youthful, you're being made formidable. And yes, sometimes you'll feel the weight of it. You'll wonder why something as beautiful as divine transformation can feel so heavy. It's because you're carrying evidence. Evidence that God still moves. That holiness still heals. That surrender still restores. And that kind of testimony is always tested. Don't be discouraged when the very people you loved can't celebrate you. Some are too wounded to witness your healing. Others are too jealous to acknowledge your growth. But none of that changes the truth. You have become a vessel of glory. And the glow they resist, it's not even about you. It's about what your transformation reminds them they haven't yet faced. And let's not forget the enemy hates when chosen ones recover. He preferred you weary, burnt out, disoriented. But now, with every day that you rise, you become more dangerous. Your walk becomes firmer. Your words carry more weight. Your spirit holds more authority. That glow is not just light. It is proof that you survived what was meant to destroy you. Proof that your spirit is stronger than the trauma. Proof that the calling on your life is louder than any betrayal. And most of all, proof that God's hand has been on you the entire time. So when the weight feels like too much, remind yourself, I'm not just glowing, I'm guarded. Heaven is surrounding me. Angels are walking with me. And my beauty, it is spiritual warfare disguised as radiance. Chosen one, you are the proof that holy things can bloom in harsh places, that roses can rise through concrete, that even after decades of wear and tear, the Creator can still breathe youth into bones and purpose into pain. This is the cost of carrying light. But oh, how worth it is. Because what you carry now, it's not just for you. It's for everyone watching. Everyone wondering if it's too late. Everyone who thought they were finished. You are the message. Asterisk. It's never too late to rise. And the glow you now carry? That's heaven's yes, written across your entire being. Chosen one. What you're experiencing is not random. Your glow, your transformation, the youth returning to your face, the strength in your bones, it's all been written long before you were born. You're walking out a prophecy now, whether you know it or not. And every time you catch your reflection and think, "This can't be me," heaven whispers back, "This has always been you. You are the fulfillment of a promise." Long ago, the prophets spoke of those who would rise in the last days, not just to preach, but to embody the kingdom, not just to declare the glory of God, but to be the evidence of it. And you, chosen one, have been marked for such a time as this. Your very existence, your renewed vitality, your spiritual awakening, this is the prophetic glow they were talking about. Isaiah said it plainly, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles." This wasn't poetic metaphor. This was spiritual fact. Strength renewed, spirit lifted, vitality restored. This is the divine inheritance you are stepping into now. And the glow, oh, that radiant light in your face, it's more than restored youth. It's the visible signature of God. It's the mark that says, "This one belongs to me." When Moses came down from the mountain after encountering God, the people couldn't even look at his face. It shined with divine radiance. They had to cover him. Why? Because he'd been in the presence of something too holy, too real. That's what people sense when they see you now. They may not know what's different about you. They may struggle to articulate it. But deep in their spirit, they recognize the presence, the divine, the fulfillment. You don't just look different, you feel different. You carry the vibration of someone chosen, someone sent, someone spoken about long before this moment ever arrived. And yes, the enemy knows this too. That's why the attacks increased just before your breakthrough. That's why life felt like chaos before the calm. Because prophecy always brings pressure. Before any promise is fulfilled, hell will try to disqualify the vessel. But you held on. You endured the storm. And now, you're stepping into the glow that only obedience can unlock. But listen closely. This glow isn't the destination, it's the beginning. It's the sign that the oil is flowing, that the mantle has fallen, that your assignment is being activated. You are not just being restored for personal joy, you are being recharged for collective impact. Your appearance now matches your anointing. You are being called not only to live the word, but to become it. When people see you, they are meant to see a living scroll written by pain, signed by healing, and sealed with power. Every wrinkle smoothed is a healed memory. Every spark in your eyes is a flame rekindled by divine purpose. Every step you take is a declaration that the kingdom is here, and it's moving through you. This glow is the prophecy realized. But hear this, with every prophecy comes stewardship. You must protect the light God has given you. Not everyone deserves access. Not everyone can handle the atmosphere you now carry. Guard it with wisdom. Walk with discernment. Your glow is sacred, and not everyone in your old circle is ready for your new season. Still, don't shrink back. Don't hide the evidence of your transformation just to make others comfortable. You were never called to blend in. You were chosen to stand out, to glow, to shine, to radiate. Because when others see the glory on you, they'll begin to believe again. They'll say, If God can do it for them, maybe He can do it for me. And your life is a message. Your youth is a sign. Your glow is a prophetic spark to a sleeping world. You were never meant to just speak about revival. You are the revival, chosen one. You're glowing with destiny. You're walking with prophecy. And heaven is watching it unfold with joy. You are living proof that what God promises, He fulfills, down to the details. Even the youthfulness of your body, even the glow of your face. You are the light they were waiting for. Shine, chosen one. Let's go deeper, because what's happening to you isn't just a glow-up, it's a rebirth. You are not simply being renewed, you are being reformed into the original version of you that God dreamt of before the world ever spoke a word over your life. This is more than transformation, it's divine restoration. And restoration isn't about going back to who you were. It's about rising into who you were, meant to be before pain, trauma, and time got their hands on you. The beauty now appearing on your face, the strength re-emerging in your stride, the peace that lingers around your energy, of it is the result of a rebirth that heaven orchestrated and only you could walk through. And while others might think your outer radiance is the reward, you know better. It's just the evidence, the real treasure. It's what happened inside. You have been reborn in purpose. That means the old version of you, the one that doubted, that overgave, that shrunk, that settled has been laid to rest. You are now walking in your divine identity. And everything about you is aligning to reflect it. Even your body is catching up to your soul. That's why you feel more youthful, not because time reversed, but because purpose activated. And when purpose activates, your entire system responds. Your breath gets deeper. Your laughter returns. Your skin softens. Your walk lightens. Your eyes shine. You stop moving like someone trying to survive. And you start moving like someone designed to reign. This is what happens when you come back to life. And oh, the world doesn't quite know what to do with you now. They'll try to compliment you. You look so refreshed. You've got that glow. What's your secret? But how do you explain resurrection to someone who's never died to themselves? How do you articulate divine rebirth to someone who still lives in survival mode? The truth is, you don't have to explain, just be. Because your new presence preaches more than your words ever could. When you walk into the room, the frequency changes. You no longer bring drama, confusion, or chaos. You bring clarity, stability, light, and people are noticing, even if they can't admit it yet. Your rebirth is a mirror to others of what's possible. But hear this, not everyone is ready to see what you've become. Some only knew the wounded version of you. They related to your brokenness, not your brilliance. And so when you rise, they may recoil. Don't take it personally. Some connections are tied to who you were, not who you're becoming. This is why God allowed the old you to fade quietly, in hidden seasons, so that when the new you emerged, it would be undeniable, authenticated, sealed by solitude. You didn't need applause to become whole. You needed alignment. And now that you're aligned, your life is about to speak in ways your voice never could. Your rebirth is going to unlock doors your effort never could. And your glow is going to introduce you to rooms your resume never will. Because favor recognizes form, and the form you now carry is that of a refined vessel shaped by pain, filled by power, and carried by purpose. Chosen one. This rebirth is permanent. It's not a season. It's a new identity. You didn't just go through a glow-up. You died to the old version of yourself and were resurrected in divine form. You now move with sacred authority. You now see with spiritual vision. You now speak with heavenly resonance. And yes, there will still be days of doubt, moments of fatigue, shadows that try to whisper lies. But the difference is, you won't listen anymore, because now you know who you are. And once you know, really know, nothing can shake it. You are not who the past tried to define. You are not who they misjudged. You are who God says you are. And this glow, this beauty, this vitality, it's heaven's way of confirming, asterisk, you're back, you're real, you're ready. So rise into this newness boldly. Let the rebirth continue to shape you, stretch you, elevate you. Let your light speak louder than your explanations. Let your presence carry prophecy, and let your reflection be a reminder that even after death, beauty lives again. You're not just reborn. You are reborn in glory. Chosen one. Before resurrection comes, release. Before your glow could radiate, something had to be stripped away. This is the part of the journey no one applauds. The quiet wilderness. The tearing down of the familiar. And yet, this shedding was absolutely necessary. You didn't just become new, you had to let go of the old. God had to unmake what the world made of you. He had to tear away false identities, generational patterns, trauma residue, self-imposed limitations layer by layer, year by year. The pain you felt wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The people who walked away weren't just lost, they were removed. Asterisk. Every ending was engineered to make room for this version of you. Because glory can't fill what pride still clings to. And divine youth doesn't come to those still bound by the heaviness of yesterday. You had to surrender. The version of you that always tried to fix, to explain, to prove had to be buried. The inner critic, the exhausted overachiever, the anxious perfectionist, all of them had to be released, because they couldn't survive in the space God was preparing for you. And, yes, it hurt. It still might, because when God starts removing things, it can feel like loss. But trust this, it was actually liberation. Every habit that left was making room for holiness. Every relationship that broke was clearing space for kingdom alignment. Every environment that turned hostile was a cue that elevation was near. You had to be emptied before you could be entrusted. That ache you felt wasn't just grief, it was sacred surgery. God was excavating the parts of you that were never yours to carry. The expectations, the guilt, the shame, the need to be understood, the fear of being alone. All of it had to go. Why? Because your glow can't coexist with your grief. Not the grief you wear like armor. Not the grief that shapes your identity. You are not what you've lost. You are what's risen. But here's the beauty in all this release. God never takes without replacing. For everything removed, something greater is restored. Where once there was heaviness, now there is lightness. Where there was chaos, now there's clarity. Where you were depleted, you are now overflowing. You're learning to walk differently now, not because you've changed locations, but because you've changed frequency. Asterisk. You're no longer trying to belong where your glow isn't welcomed. You're no longer dimming for rooms that fear brightness. You're no longer waiting for permission to shine. Because the release has recalibrated your reality. And in this new reality, you know what peace feels like in your bones. You recognize the difference between being tolerated and being honored. You don't chase. You attract. You don't beg. You discern. You don't perform. You align. That's the mark of the reborn. And let's not forget, this new version of you, this glowing, youthful, aligned vessel is not for show. It's for service. It's for sacred missions, for spiritual impact, for divine influence. You're not being made new just to feel better. You're being made whole to carry something holy. The release had to happen because glory is weighty, and you couldn't carry what God was about to place on you if your hands were still gripping yesterday. So if you're still in the releasing phase, trust it. Let it fall. Let it be the friendship, the title, the old self-concept. If it's not rooted in who you're becoming, let it go. Because what's ahead will require every inch of your focus, every drop of your light, every ounce of your spiritual power. Chosen one. You're walking out of old skins, shedding old labels. And the further you go, the more you realize that loss was heaven's way of making you lighter, of preparing you for the speed and altitude of your next season. You're not declining. You're ascending. And those who couldn't recognize you in your release, they won't be able to reach you in your resurrection. Let it go. Let God. The glow that's coming next will be untouchable. Chosen one. Now that the shedding is complete, now that the pruning has made room for purpose, you are stepping into the most powerful phase of your journey, the moment where you become the living testimony. You are no longer just learning about God's power. You are wearing it, walking in it, breathing it. Your life itself has become the message. People used to listen to your words to see if you had wisdom. Now, they look at your life, your glow, your strength, your peace, and they see the wisdom already embodied. This is what it means to be chosen, not just to receive a word from God, but to become one. And now, your presence has shifted into something the world cannot ignore. You walk into spaces and the atmosphere shifts not because you demand attention, but because you carry authority. Your silence says what volumes cannot. Your energy hums with divine clarity. You have become a frequency the spiritual realm recognizes and respects. And oh, the enemy is watching, because he knows he can't seduce you like before. You've outgrown those old traps. The insecurities, the guilt, the fear, they no longer fit you. Like garments from a life you've long since outlived. The temptations don't even taste the same. Because your appetite has changed. You've been filled with something greater purpose. Vision, asterisk, God's glory. This is why your glow has intensified. It's not cosmetic, it's consecrated. The more you walk in obedience, the brighter you shine. Your skin reflects the peace you fought for. Your posture radiates the confidence of someone who knows their identity. Your voice now carries the cadence of someone who has been in the throne room of heaven. You are not just glowing. You are governing. That is what makes you dangerous. Because the glow is no longer just physical, it's positional. You've been positioned by God to influence, to heal, to break chains. Your glow isn't about attraction, it's about activation. When people come near you now, something in them begins to awaken. Not because of you, but because of who is in you. You've You've become a divine catalyst. This is why you're not easily moved anymore. Why drama feels foreign. Why your peace feels like armor. Because the version of you that used to react is gone. Now, you respond strategically, spiritually, with grace and power. You've been refined not for praise, but for purpose. You're not a product of chance. You're a vessel of prophecy, a carrier of light in a generation addicted to artificial shine. While the world plays dress-up in filters and facades, you radiate something real, something rare, something raw and holy. And people are drawn to it, even if they don't understand it. But don't mistake the attention for validation. Your glow isn't a result of being seen by people, it's the result of being touched by God. Let that humble you. Let that anchor you. Because this level of light comes with responsibility. You are now representing something sacred. You are becoming a mirror for others to see what happens when a person fully yields to divine timing. When they surrender their pain, their image, their timeline, and let God sculpt something eternal. You are the answer to prayers you never heard, the manifestation of promises others forgot. You are a sign to the weary, a spark to the hopeless, a lighthouse to the ones still drowning in darkness. And no, you didn't get here overnight. You crawled through years of confusion. You wept in silence. You battled demons that had your name tattooed on their lies. And yet, here you are, glowing, rebuilt, unrecognizable in the most divine way. You are not who they thought. You are not what they expected. You are what God always intended. So walk with reverence, but walk boldly. Let your glow disrupt darkness. Let your smile prophesy joy. Let your steps echo the rhythm of someone walking in divine alignment. Because now, your life is the sermon. And every time someone asks, "How did you get here?" you'll smile. Not because it was easy, but because it was God. You didn't fake the light. You became it, chosen one. Now, we arrive at the moment. Heaven has been preparing you for all along the final unveiling. Not of your face, not even of your glow, but of your divine confirmation. Asterisk, you didn't just stumble into this transformation. You were destined for it. Every tear, every trial, every lonely night, every hidden victory, it's all led to this, your rebirth into divine purpose. Let this be clear. Your glow is no accident. Your youth is not random. Your beauty is not coincidence. It is confirmation. Asterisk, it's heaven's signature on the masterpiece God has made of your life. And now, the final transformation begins not into someone new, but into someone true. Asterisk, you are not becoming another version. You are becoming the original intention. Your glow is going to intensify. Your energy will magnetize. But more importantly, your impact will multiply. Asterisk, you will notice favor finding you in unexpected places. Conversations turning into divine appointments. Strangers affirming what God has whispered in private. Doors opening not because you knocked, but because your light announced you. And here's the twist most won't expect. This transformation isn't peaking, it's starting. Asterisk. This was never about one glow-up moment. This is a divine acceleration. You are on the runway of a destiny that's about to take flight. Everything you've endured was the prelude. But now the story begins. Let the world wonder. Let the skeptics whisper, But you know the truth. What they're seeing in you is supernatural. Asterisk. It's the result of alignment, surrender, trust, and divine timing. This is your season of divine youth. Yes, but it's also your season of divine mission. Asterisk. You will walk with more clarity than ever before. You will speak with more precision. You will move in rooms with a calm that unnerves the prideful and comforts the hungry. You're no longer trying to prove, you're simply being. Chosen one. This is your divine confirmation. You have been seen. You have been approved. You have been appointed. Your youth has been restored, not for vanity, but for vesselship. You are glowing because God trusts you to carry light. Asterisk. You are strong again because He's not finished with you. You've been healed because your voice is needed. You've been reborn because this world needs to see what God still does with surrendered lives. Let this truth settle in your bones. You are the proof that God's promises age like wine, stronger with time, richer with wisdom, and more potent with purpose. So now, walk. Walk like someone who knows they carry divine light. Smile like someone who's seen the throne room. Speak like someone who remembers the silence that birthed their purpose. Glow like someone who's been touched by something holy and never came back the same. And when the next storm tries to come, when the next season tests your shine, remind yourself, I've already been through the fire. I've already died once, and I came back brighter. The old version of you wasn't discarded. It was refined. The pain didn't disqualify you. It qualified you. And your glow, it's not just beautiful, it's a beacon. Asterisk. A signal to the world that resurrection is real. Asterisk. And that God's glory can live in human form. So let the light grow. Let it stretch across your life. Let it reach your family, your community, your destiny. Let it blind the enemy. Let it guide the lost. Let it remind you every single day that you are not just chosen. You are confirmed. May the glow on your face reflect the healing in your soul. May every wrinkle smoothed by grace become a story of victory. May every step you take vibrate with holy clarity. And may your life, your entire life, become a living altar of what's possible when heaven breathes on dust. This isn't the end of your transformation. It's the activation. Asterisk. Because soon, God won't just restore your youth. He'll amplify your voice. Be ready. Chosen one. What's coming next will shift bloodlines,